Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, G-Dot family. No matter when you're watching this video, I'm glad that you're tuned in with me because we're going to learn how to make some money today. And right now, we're reacting to a millionaire telling us how to get rich with AI in 2026. So let's strap in, get our notes ready, and let's get to seeing let's get to listening and saying what he's got to say.
I'm a cash millionaire at 27 years old with software. But if I had to go back and make my first $1 million in the next 12 months with AI, this is exactly what I do.
Okay, let's get to it.
Proven process that I took all my AI companies at Martell Ventures through over the last year.
Let's see.
3 of those companies are already at $1 million in revenue in less than 12 months.
Okay.
So if you've been
I will say, if you don't believe in AI, you have to, because all the data centers that's being created, all the people that are using AI to make money, whether they're creating AI or they're using AI to make some type of content or something to make a process easier, even something as easy as Creo. I forgot how to, I think it's Creo.ai. They're making a lot of money, and all they're doing is basically offering a clipping service. So AI is for sure the future, but you can make a lot of money with it right now as well.
Thinking about building an AI company or already have one and want to scale past the million, this video is your blueprint. And if at any point in this video you think to yourself, I can't do this, you might not be cut out to make $1 million with AI. But if you're one of the select few that are willing to do the work, this video is for you. Starting with step 1, sell before you build. Let me tell you the fastest way to go broke with AI. Spend the next 6 months building a tool, then find out nobody wants it. You actually gotta flip it. You need to sell it first, then build it. I call it pre-selling. Here's how it works. The first thing is we have to find 10 potential customers and ask them for advice. I'm gonna give you the question to make this really easy, because I learned a long time ago, if you talk to a potential customer and ask them for money, they'll just give you advice on why maybe you're not ready. But if you ask for advice, they give you feedback and then they sell themselves into buying from you. So the question you wanna ask them is, what has been hard about your business that if you could automate with AI, you would love to get that set up for yourself, right? Just ask them those questions. And when they give you the answer, then you create the offer, which brings us to step 2. That's usually when people say, well, how much should I charge? My rule is whatever you would charge for the year, give them a 50% discount. And the reason you're giving the discount is because you're gonna ask them for a case study. But what they're giving you in return is the permission to use their name to then use that when you go talk to other customers. And finally, you have to decrease the first time to value for your customer. Meaning you have to build a plan that goes from like they gave you money to they got something as fast as possible. That's pre-selling, and it's easier than you think. But now that you understand you have to pre-sell, how do you find the people to sell to? Which brings us to step 2.
This is true. And I just want to piggyback off what he said in option. Well, the first portion of this video is that you do have to pre-sell, and now a lot of people just use that when they're doing clothes. You pre-sell the clothes. You want to make sure you could even get a profit before you start manufacturing these clothes, or there's even a demand for the clothes before you start manufacturing these clothes. But one thing I will say is you have to do that with everything. That's doable with any real, how can I put this? Any real business or any venture that you're going to go into, you have to pre-sale, because you have to make sure you're not wasting your time. You want to make sure that people, A, want this product, B, this product is useful to somebody, and C, how much can you make off this product before you start going into it, so you know how much labor you have to put into it, how much you want to charge for it, and how fast or how much you can scale up from this product. So you definitely want to pre-sale, or just get a feel for the market, as I would say, before you start going all in. Because like you said, you don't want to be building something for 6 to 7 months or maybe even a year, and then you realize no one wants this. Now you're just wasting your time because there's nothing else you can do with this product. So you definitely have to do that.
A boring market. I have a rule. I don't like to sell to hot, exciting, flash in the pan industries. Things like marketing and technology, right? Crypto, e-com, course selling. And I'm not saying they're an absolute no. The problem is that when you get into these shifts and fads, the fad could go away and you build a whole business against something that won't be there in 3 or 4 years. We have to pick a market that's easy to get into, that's gonna value innovation. It's like Jeff Bezos. He said, look, I don't care about what's new. I care about what's true. What are customers going to care about in 10 years, 20 years? It's not going to change. Because if you can find these boring markets that don't have a lot of competition, those are the ones that typically have high margins and they're ripe for disruption and innovation. So how do you pick a boring market? Well, first, ask AI. You can type, show me 20 boring industries with high average deal sizes where operations are still
We're gonna do this right now.
Okay, why? Because AI will help you automate those manual processes. See what I did there? And then the high deal size means that they're gonna pay a lot, not too much, not too low, because people that have money are great to sell to. So once you've got the boring market, how do you actually know what to sell? The second, within that market, we got to find a pain that they actually have. So for an electrician, maybe it's the fact that they have missed calls that they're always getting and they're losing jobs because those calls are coming in after hours. See how that could be painful for somebody who's trying not to be tied to their work, or when they're working, they're actually getting paid and they don't have time to answer a call. The third thing is we have to figure out the benefits that are needed. If the person has these problems, what are the key things that you're going to solve for them? So for example, if it's that they're not available to take calls, then you can use an AI software like your Atlas and actually get paid to set it up for them so that it qualifies and it schedules calls while they're on a job being an electrician. But you get paid by setting that up for them. See, the cool part is, in this world we live in, you can make money using AI tools that other people built, but you're the person in the middle that sets it up for these business owners. By the way, I have links to all the tools I'm going to mention in this video below in the description, so you can click them if you want to check them out. But if I had to make $1 million with AI this year, again, I wouldn't start with an idea. I would start with the boring market. So now that you know the market you want to be in, next you have to lock in the math that keeps you rich, not just busy.
And also, I do want to piggyback off this as well. A boring market is the best market to get into because, like you said, with all the trending things that's going on right now, people don't believe in them and feel like they're too oversaturated. So it makes it harder to sell to people and sell in them because people are already feeling like, oh, it's oversaturated. I'm in too late. I'm getting in too late. But two, a boring market is a more stable market. A trending market is when it fluctuates too much because it depends on someone being interested in it. But a boring market is usually one that's more stable. It's been around for a long time and is proven to stand the test of time. So you definitely want to get into a more boring market. You know, and like you said, e-commerce, selling courses, crypto, trendy market, HVAC, pharmaceutical, things of that nature. Definitely want to get into that.
Number 3, pick your high margin model. Now, margin is a weird word. A lot of people don't understand it, but it's very simple. If I sell a product for $5 and it costs me $1 to make, my margin is $4. The challenge is most people focus on revenue and it's a vanity. How much money did you make last year? Oh, I made 100 grand. Well, if it costs you $1 million to make 100 grand, it's not a business you want to be in. And unfortunately, most people don't understand how to build the business in a way that can make them a lot of profit. And why AI is so powerful for this is that it can take your delivery costs, where in the past you'd have to pay somebody to do it, and bring it down to almost zero because AI can automate it. You want your AI business to feel like that. High price, tiny cost. Charge a lot for what you do, very low cost to deliver. And look, I've done the research for you. So here are the highest margin AI business models for 2026.
Let's see.
The lowest one is AI services, around 70% margin. Again, you can Google or search on AI, any one of these. The next level up is AI consulting, around 80% margins. Then we go to AI digital products, around 90% margins. And then the one that I'm in and I love is AI software, a little bit more complicated to do, and they have around 95% margins, where I spent personally 93% of my time all week building these companies. If I had to get rich with AI this year, here's what I would do. First, I would start with an AI service or consulting. That way it gets me in the conversation with the customers. I learn the AI to automate, but then I would try to productize it into a light software that takes the workflow that I've documented and systematized and packages it into a software that other people can buy without me even talking to them. That's how we get to 95% margin. So now we've got a boring market figured out.
And that's pretty much how Creo AI operates, because all they do is have the software and then they have to promote it and they have to market it, yes, but it gets to a point and market it and it promotes itself because people need this software. People want to use this software, especially if you're trying to go the real route or faceless, even if you want to show your face on certain things. It just makes it easier to use this AI for people that are trying to make content. So if you definitely have an AI software and you just pretty much put marketing money behind it, the AI does all the work. And all you have to do is upkeep the AI from there.
And a high margin model so you can make some profit. Now you need to find the right person to sell it to. Step number 4, create a high cash flow offer.
Now, I feel like that is pretty self-explanatory, creating a high cash flow offer. You want to make somebody an offer that they can't refuse, but you also do want to make something that is usable for day-to-day activity and also something that people can, what's the word I'm looking for? Something that people can utilize, make money from, but also it makes you have more value than, it makes it seem like they're getting more value from what they're spending. So if someone is spending $500 with you, they want to be able to make back $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,000. Now, if you're able to make a high cash flow offer and you're able to say, hey, if you spend 1,000 with me, then I can give you back 5,000. That's pretty much a high cash flow offer. So I just want to make sure we're getting through this video because I know people have a lot of things they want to do on a day-to-day basis. So I want to make sure that we're getting all the information that we can from this man because he is getting a lot of useful information out there. So I want to make sure that we're seeing everything possible, everything that he is offering for us. Now we're going to go all the way to the bottom just to get to number 6. And here we go right here. So, let me go back a little bit.
Business model, you got the product, you got the customer. Because if you're too greedy, or worse, not greedy enough, it might be all for nothing, which takes us to a hidden step that very
build your AI MVP and automate your delivery. This is definitely something you want to do because once you build your AI MVP, which is going to be your moneymaker, and then you automate your delivery so you don't have to worry about it or focus it every day. For example, me personally, well, I don't have an automated delivery. I run Discords. If you want to go and join my Discord, please click the link in the description. But I have to manually do this every day. I don't automate anything. So this is definitely something that you want to take advantage of because if you can automate it, then you can make the most money possible.
few people consider. Step number 7, getting long-term greedy.
Getting long-term greedy is definitely something you want to do as well because you want to start, you don't want to be complacent with the money that you're making now. You want to keep increasing your cash flow over time. You don't want to say, hey, I'm making $1 million a month. I'm cool with that. You want to start making 2 million, 3 million. And that's just going to be by simplifying your processes, but also making it easier for people to reach your product and use your product. But this was a lot of useful information for one video, and I love watching videos like this and sharing the information with you guys. So if you have any questions or you have anything that you feel like you need to get answered, please do not hesitate to click the link in my description, but also do not hesitate to DM me on Instagram for any questions that you might have. I'm open to helping anyone that is serious about making money.